Armadillo Theater.
Yeah. So right,
After
yeah,
the
yeah,
explosion.
yeah, I did.
That's cool.
So watch this part right here with the fence where I was talking to. I'm gonna pause it right there. You see how that one's chewing through, like he's kind of not chewing through, but he's like prying through at the very
Yeah,
bottom.
on the bottom left.
If you pay attention, you can see him actually getting through. So he's barely sticking his arm through because the fence isn't all the way sealed at that very bottom part,
Oh, there it
and
is.
he
Yep.
gets right.
There he is.
Yeah, he gets right through it. And actually, I stopped and just wanted to see what would happen.
Mhm.
And he attacked you, and he would eat you, like you would die. You would have to start over.
That's cool.
And even right here, there's one scene I remember. I got stuck on that little pillar, that little thing, that little fence thing.
Hmm.
For some reason, my character got stuck on that, and the ones that were coming off the wall, jumping off the wall, they end up getting me. So I got stuck on the terrain.
Was it a glitch
Um,
or like a?
no, no, no. The character just got. I just got stuck. I was paying attention to them, and
Mm,
I didn't pay attention to what was in front of me, and I got stuck. And then they basically they attacked me.
you gotta pay attention,
I know, I know.
otherwise the infected will get you.
Yeah, this right here is so reminiscent to like all these other like zombie movies that you've
Mhm.
seen in the past. That like they're holding the door and you see the arms coming through.
Yeah, these
Like
zombies seem
that's
strong. Like these infected.
yeah. They're just and they're running after
Yeah,
you, man. That's the
I don't
thing.
like running zombies.
No,
Like I
no,
feel like it's cheating somehow. Give me the
it's
slow
too much.
zombies where you can juke around them and and just run away.
It's yeah, it's too much.
Yeah,
It's too much. If they're running at you and there's a bunch of them, it's just like, man, how long can you be sprinting for until you have to stop?
right. Exactly.
And they're not going to stop.
Hmm.
That's the scary thing about it is that they're going to keep coming at you.
It's like that movie. Have you seen 28 Days Later?
Yes. Oh man,
That's a good
that's
movie.
horrible. That's horrible. Even the what is it? 28 weeks later, in that very first scene when they're in like a house that's all dark, and then all of a sudden the zombies break through, and that guy's running out of the room, out of that house,
Hmm.
and he's just running and running and running. And then you see a bunch of other ones that are running after him,
Hmm.
coming down the hill. Like that's scary, man. That's scary.
Yeah, way too fast. The
No
zombies are way
way.
too fast.
No way. But I'm just curious. I'm just curious on like how long Tommy held the door.
Hmm.
See, but just right there, this part right here. See how the light comes through this little area, this little broken
Yeah,
little
they're
part of the
showing you where
wall.
to go.
They're telling you exactly where to go.
Hmm.
Exactly. And if you were to go back here, you don't really know where to go. But obviously, they don't want you to go to the right. They don't want you to go to the left.
They don't want you to
There's a
check on
spot.
Tommy.
No, there's a spotlight right there telling you exactly where to go.
Hmm.
And they did that perfectly because you can't stand right next to them. You have to keep moving, and then you see that light, and based on your instinct as playing games, it's going to tell you that's guiding you and telling you go this way. And that's and one last thing to kind of like really like cement on this game, the soundtrack and the musical score is just incredible. Like that, they lend itself to the scenes of like what's happening so perfectly.
It's intense. Yeah, the music is very
Yeah,
intense.
yeah. I hate this
But if
game.
this cop, what is he, or this army dude, if he wasn't
Yeah,
there, they would have
yeah.
gotten killed by the zombies chasing them.
Maybe, maybe they
They were
would
on
have.
their
I don't
butts,
know.
dude. And you could only run
They
so
could have.
fast. Like
That's
you can't
that's
run that fast.
that's that's true. And well, Tommy did catch up to him, so maybe they got through it, and maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe Tommy was able to like take him down. Maybe.
Mm-mm.
But at this point, they've already had it. They've already the military has already seized a section of this town, and they know that there's like a quarantine area that they need to keep people, you know, either staying within and then not letting other people come in. So they already know. They realize how bad it is already. That's why they immediately are just like his 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 officer or his boss or his commanding officer tells him kill him, and that's where he says, but he has a daughter with him. He's
Mm,
like, but he like pauses for a second. Like I love this little interaction that he has.
yeah.
He doesn't want to do it. Yeah.
Like, don't you think he should have made a decision? Like, if he knows this is not right, like he shouldn't
Yeah.
have carried it out. Like that's why I don't think I would be good in the military because if they give me an order,
Yeah.
I'd be questioning it and stuff. Well, why do you want me to do that? You know, it's like I try to think it through and stuff.
You're asking too many
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Like really, like you want me to kill? Like they don't look infected. You want me to kill them? Like that? You know, that doesn't make any sense.
I
Never
mean,
says.
that's I mean, you don't know what else he's seen, but obviously he doesn't want to do it, and he does it. He has a chance to not complete his orders,
Hmm.
but as a soldier that realizes what's happening,
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't
thinks
want
he's
to
doing
do
the
it.
right thing from his
Yes,
perspective. He's following
yes,
orders, even though he
yes.
doesn't want to do it. He thinks that
But
he's.
well, the hesitation that he has of like there's a little girl, and then whoever on the other end says, "I don't care, kill him."
Mhm,
He's like, "What?" And then he gets interrupted, and that's when he's just like, "Okay." Like he had a moment of clarity for just a second of like maybe I can't let I have to have some sort of humanity left in me to not be this evil. And it's just like it's a necessary evil for something like this because you don't know what's going to happen. Like you don't know if these people are infected. He doesn't know. It's like, he's in and actually like he has a mask on, so they don't know what's happening. They don't know if it's airborne. They don't know if like all the people are infected. All he knows, you need to protect everybody else. Whoever he's protecting on the other side of that hill,
mhm.
you have no idea. But obviously, it doesn't work out. But to his knowledge, he's trying to do as much as he can, but he doesn't want to.
I'm gonna nerd out for a second.
Yep.
This kind of reminds me of us,
Hmm.
and I don't know if you've seen this before or if you've taken a psychology class, but like there was an experiment done back in the day where subjects and they would have like actors in another room, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know where
Yes.
I'm going at? Excuse me.
Yes.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes. Yes.
And then in this experiment, they had like a little dial turner or whatever, and they
Mhm.
told the test subjects that whoever was in the other room, and these people are actors, that
Mhm.
like if you push this button, it'll electrocute them a little bit, you know. And then
Right.
there's like a dial. I don't remember if it was 1 through 10 or if it was like low, medium, high. I don't remember the
Right.
details, but
Mhm.
it was very fascinating that like even though they didn't want to do it, the doctors would tell the test subjects, you know, like, up, you need to crank it up, you know, and then when they crank it up, you can hear the actors in the other room like they were yelling and screaming, but it was
Yeah.
amazing. They still followed orders, you
Yep.
know, to do that, even though they probably felt like it was wrong. And
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking about, you know, especially with this scene where he was given
Mhm.
an order. He knows it's wrong, like his gut is telling him like, okay,
Mhm.
shooting these people, it's not right. But
Mhm.
the power, the influence of getting an order from somebody, like either in a higher authority or
Mhm.
someone in a higher position,
Mhm.
like most people would tend to listen to that order. So
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking about.
Well, you trust that there's somebody that knows better than you, and especially as a doctor, everyone instinctually kind of takes on being polite with a doctor because they know best,
Right.
and you don't question those things because you're just like they have my best interest in mind because they want me to get better. You never want to think like, oh, this doctor is going to give me a lot of prescription medication, and now my insurance is going to go up higher because I'm going to be on this medication, and there's parts of the medication that's not going to work for me, and I might get addicted to other things. Like you're going
Mhm.
to be dependent on these things. You don't want to think about that because you're trusting what they say, and it symbolizes that white coat. That white coat of like a uniform is what basically is what they were talking about,
Mhm.
and I'll do you one better. They did an exact same type of experiment with that, but what they did is they had a small dog that the person can actually see that they would actually that the dog would actually they would push a button and the dog would feel the actual pain. So it was like like a jolt or something. It was some sort of like voltage or something,
Mhm.
and then they would they would tell their subject to say, okay, we need you to get the dog to press. If the dog presses it or does this on this other side, and like kind of touches this other thing, then you can stop the experiment. But you need to keep guiding them and push this button to get their attention to do something else. And
That's horrible.
the people would be so emotionally like they'd be so upset with this that they had it where people got up and they would be waving their hands, say, like, "I don't wanna keep doing this. Press this button or do this. Look over here. Look over here.
Yeah,
Like, I don't wanna keep doing this." But they kept doing it, and it didn't matter. It was a small little dog, but it's like they were given orders, and they didn't wanna do it, but they did. And there was only one person that I remember in that kind of experiment that refused to even do it. Once they did it once, they said, "No, I'm not doing this anymore." And they're like, "Well, this is part of the experiment." He's like, "Well, you do it." He told the doctor,
mm,
"You do it." So it's just like it's interesting because if you follow those type of orders, just like in this situation,
yeah,
if you wouldn't have followed those orders, what would have happened? You don't know.
hmm. That is very interesting, yeah, so it's that guy that didn't follow orders, he's probably like a critical thinker,
Yeah,
he's an
exactly.
analyzer, he was analyzing
Yeah,
the situation, he trusts
yeah,
people in authority, but if
yeah,
something doesn't seem right to him, he's not gonna do
yes,
it. But
yes,
he was like
yes,
he was a rare case though, right? You said, like, everyone
yeah,
else
yeah.
did it.
It was yeah, it was
Hmm,
only one person that I remember in that experiment, that one person that actually didn't like doing it, or
mhm.
there's people that would do it and they would stop over a certain point where the yelping of the dog got so it was so loud and so gut-wrenching for them that they would stop. They're like, "I can't do this anymore."
Or was it
I
like or did they just get
Yeah,
sounds that sounded like that?
no,
That would've
honestly, I
been messed
believe it
up,
was
dude. Can you
I believe it was a real dog.
Dang.
But I don't think it was a I honestly, I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that it was they tested it with animals, but they also did it with people too.
Wow.
Just that whole it's a real it's a real test of, like, our level of of who we trust, and if they're telling you to do something, if you don't like what they're telling you, but you know that you need to, and if they're telling you they know better than you,
Yeah.
it's like it's something weird that happens with that, and just like this unknown soldier, he's conflicted at that point, but he's just like, "I have to follow my orders. I can't not do it."
Clarify, my
Yeah.
position in this. Like, yes, we
Yes.
should listen to people in authority, right? Like we
Yes.
shouldn't be
Yes.
paranoid about it with everybody. Like you go
No.
to the doctor, we're putting our trust in them, right?
Yes.
Or with the police or whoever
Mhm.
is in a position of authority. Yes, we want to put our trust in them, but at the same time, we do want to use our brains and use our critical thinking skills to analyze the
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly.
Like if
And if
somebody
you
is
and if
giving you
you
an order to kill innocent people,
exactly.
like you're gonna analyze the situation. Okay, you understood the order, but
Mhm.
you're also trying to
Not
figure
going
out
to. Yeah. Right.
it. But
Right.
but yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that. Like, yeah, of course we should, because if you're gonna question everybody or every time someone does something, or
Then
like if you go to the
then
dentist, well, what are you doing?
yeah, then
How
you
long?
never
Where's
you
your certificate?
why you doing
Yeah,
this?
where's your degree? Are you sure you should be doing that? Like like that's too much. Like I didn't mean it like
Right,
that, but at the
right.
same time,
No, but
yeah.
that's exactly what it should do. You should question the things that don't make sense to you, and if people can't give you the right answer, and it doesn't sound right, then chances are it's not right. And if they're winging it, you can I mean, most of the time you can kinda tell if someone's winging it or not, and they're feeding you lies. You can kind of see that and be like, what you're telling me doesn't sound right. How about you keep clarifying? How about you keep trying to tell me what it is that you're telling me?" And in this situation, like in this character, he could have easily like just put his gun down and said, "Come on in," or he could have just checked them real quick to see if they were infected. He could have,
Right,
but he
exactly.
didn't.
Like, I think at this point, maybe they have some signs or something, like he wasn't,
Maybe,
being aggressive, this guy was
maybe.
holding a girl, he doesn't have any weapons on him. Like,
Right,
yeah, if you just
right.
took, like, an extra minute to,
Hmm.
think about, but it's a chaotic situation, like I'm saying
See,
this as if I'd be calm and